What's up, world? You are welcome to Nest Telly. I am Nes, and today I have my king, Dikbo. My king is here, and today we're going to be discussing The 5 Love Languages of Children by Gary Chapman. This book is awesome. I love this book. It's all about understanding the best way to love your kids and to make them reach adult maturity, especially when it comes to emotional maturity. And this book is going to be so awesome. So please sit back, relax, and let's begin. Okay, so yes, welcome back again. We're going to start with a little bit of introduction. So what do you know about the 5 love languages?
Well, the 5 love languages was was a bestseller written by Gary Chapman several years ago, and it was like a breakthrough in the Christian community, especially, and generally talking about love and how to express love, how to receive love, how to understand people. It's a lot of psychology in it, and it's really very simple the way it was broken down. It says that human beings basically give and receive love through 5 languages. He calls them languages, and there's words of affirmation, there's physical touch, there's giving of gifts, there's
acts of services.
Yes, acts of service.
And quality time.
Exactly.
And quality time.
Those are the 5 love languages.
Yes. One of the greatest things I think Gary Chapman achieved was that he removed the mystery from love, or from marriage, or from happiness in marriage, or happiness in relationship, because a lot of times we always assume that some people are just impossible. Some people that we love, we think they're impossible because we do everything for them and they still don't feel loved. So it's like they don't feel loved and they act out and all that, and a lot of times we just feel like this person, something is wrong with them, but actually nothing is wrong. You just aren't speaking their love language. And the way he put it is like, understand that everybody has an emotional tank. So the more you love them in their own language, the fuller the tank becomes. And it's actually very, very important in children. So basically what he did, first of all, was he discussed the same 5 love languages, because he went on to do, there was the original 5 love languages that he did for children, did for teenagers, then did for even, I think, the elderly. What he did now was he discussed the 5 love languages and the best way to raise your kids using their own love languages, and how the parts that the 5 love languages play in these children. So first of all, let me ask you, do you know what your love language is? Do you think you know what your love language is?
I believe so.
What is that?
I think my love, my major love language is maybe words of affirmation. Yeah, I also love quality time. For me, it's never really about maybe where you go, it's about the company.
Yeah.
I don't love parties. I love small gatherings where you get to talk and you meet with people, stuff like that. So I think those are my major love languages.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, he believes my love language is acts of services. I don't think it is, because he believes so, because I'm just someone, I've never quite understood how a couple can be together and one person is comfortable with the other person doing everything in the house. Do you understand? And in my case,
Africa.
man, Africa self, I don't understand. I don't get it, because I feel like, how do you let a woman, like, she wakes up in the morning? Me, I have only one child. I know women that have like 3 kids. They wake up as early as 5, give the kids a bath, cook food, do everything, come back, and they still have to go to work. Then come back, do homework, put them to bed. They go to bed so late, then go back so early, and daddy is just sitting there doing nothing. Where is the love?
Reading newspapers.
Thank you. Or watching football. Where is the love? Yeah. So it's like, for me, it's not about, to me, I mean, I can understand you thinking that it's connected with love, but I just think it's being considerate. It's facts. You cannot love.
Consideration is love.
You cannot, whatever, man. Well, you cannot love someone and be okay with the person doing every single physical thing in the house. It even breaks down it doesn't break down the spirit. I don't know, man. But it's possible. Honestly, it's a possibility that acts for services is there. But I don't know. I don't think.
So what do you think it is?
My dear, let me see. I know words of affirmation is important to me. I'd love to hear I love you. I love to hear you're doing a great job. Those things, they linger in my head for a very long time. I love words of affirmation. Okay, I just realized that we didn't even explain what each love language is for someone that has never read this book before. Okay, so acts of services is when you do something for someone, like just like what I said, act of services. What has happened in my home now is that we share chores in the house. I don't do everything. Thank God. Do you understand? I don't do everything. If I pick a baby from school, he does homework with her. He spends time playing with her. Do you understand? Those type of things. Does dishes, helps to cook. So all those type of things. All of us helping to do things in the house. So that is acts of services. Gifts. Receiving of gifts is actually pretty self-explanatory. So people love gifts. And that's that. With children, most times, what that means is that it's just small things that you can get for them. Anytime I go out, I saw this and I thought of you and I'll give it to you. They love gifts. Do you understand? Those ones, they love it a lot. Quality time. Kids sometimes just want you to have undivided attention with them. Just sit down, share, enjoy. They understand? Sit down, share. Like our daughter is I think she's a quality time person. She loves her quality time with you. Play with me. Stay, even assignments, stay with me. She wants to sit down and do the assignments with her, just so that I can just sit down there and be looking at her, even though she knows the assignments. She loves it. And I know playing board games with her is like her all-time high. She loves it. And then just doing, even when I'm watering plants, she wants to join me and do it. She's that person, spending time with someone. So what's the other one? Touch. Yes, you meet some people that they like. They like to touch. Some people slap you when you participate. Hey! Touch. You be like, I know it's harassing.
You have to stay 6 feet away.
I'm very violent. I'm very violent sounding, but most times they feel a connection with you because they're touching you. Yeah. Some people cannot talk to you, like very good friends of yours. They want to touch your hair. Yeah. They just want to be rubbing body with you. That's physical touch. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So how do you think, according to the book, how do you think we discover the love languages? I don't know if you can remember what's.
How do you discover?
Yes, discovering love language in your child.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it has to do with a lot of observation, and I think depending on the age of a child, from what the book said, with younger children, it's usually more difficult. So you observe how they respond and how they seem to appreciate some of the things you do for them. Also, how they reciprocate. So somebody who, or let's say a child in this instance, who loves to be touched, would also,
tend to want to touch
yes,
you.
They want to hug you, they want to cover your eyes, they want
you,
to, things like that.
Tickle you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how you get to know that, okay, this child seems physical touch is very important. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and our daughter, we realized that, or do you think we figured out Tum Tum Zone yet?
Well, I think we're still on the way to figuring it out because she seems to respond broadly to everything. She appreciates, words of affirmation. She appreciates physical touch. Quality time, I think, is a major one for her.
And gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
Gift to own is not necessarily because we buy things for her. I think it's just more like the way, when she likes somebody a lot, she wants to give the person something. There's this her teacher that's every day she's always thinking of what she will give her teacher. And she loves the teacher. She's like, let me make this, let's give this to my teacher. She's always thinking of doing that. So I feel like gift has to be very important to her. And then when you come home, sometimes when she tells you welcome back or good afternoon, say, what do you buy for me? It's at this point, it's like harassment. What do you want? Yeah. So we assume that gifts might have a lot to do with that.
Yeah, it's part of that.
Yeah. So basically, according to the book, you learn the first, as in a child before 5 years, you just show them all the 5 love languages. They said there are 2 reasons why you should do this. You show them so that they can feel loved, and then you show them so they can know that there are other ways to love other people. One of the best things you can do is to teach them to express love to other people, think about other people, not just themselves. Do you understand? Now we know that we live in a generation now where everybody's all about themselves and all that. So it's like, teach a child to be extraordinary. Let them do something else. So what was your favorite part of the book? What do you think really hit it for you? I really liked the book.
There's so much. And okay, so when he talked about discipline, for instance, and we tend to give negative connotations to discipline, but he said discipline is actually a positive thing. But the reason why we give that negative connotation to it is because usually we are thinking about punishment, and punishment is just one aspect of discipline. But discipline is really about raising an adult, raising a mature child. You are raising a child to become a responsible member of society, and that's why you discipline. So when you look at it from that perspective, you realize that this discipline has a lot to do with love, and even the Bible talks about that a father that loves the child disciplines the child. So whenever if it seems like you are being disciplined by God, understand that it's out of love. So yeah, that aspect of discipline and how you have to also be careful how yes, the way you discipline, like corporal punishment, which is what we are very used to around here, is shouldn't be what you always resort to. You have to try and understand the child and how you even discipline based on the love language. Okay, yeah. So you mentioned something about the love tank.
Yes.
Ensure that your child is secure in your love.
Yes.
Your child does not doubt that you love him or her. Yes.
Yeah.
So once that is done, in fact, sometimes you go ahead and explain the reason why you have to discipline. So the child knows, sometimes the child even knows that, okay, yes, I deserve this.
Yeah.
This is the sense of justice. So I did this wrong, so I deserve to be disciplined. So in that context, and then afterwards you embrace the child and all. We are not used to that around here. It's like, okay, you've done something bad, I don't want to see you, just get out of my face.
Or spank.
Exactly. So yeah, we shouldn't also be so quick to spank. I know that's the first thing you want to do. This child is just so annoying. But sometimes your child does some of these things. They act naughty just so that they can get your attention. So what you need to find out
some of them is even to try and find proof if you love them. He said that in the book. Yeah,
that's part of the attention. So try and find out what is this child trying to communicate. What does this child need before you think about what you need? Because most times all you're thinking about is, this child is disturbing me, I need a quiet house right now. I need, so you strike the child. You try to subjugate the child to obey you by all means. It's like being a dictator. So it's kind of what we resort to, but they say that's not the best way to go about it. You want the child to you want to be a participant in the child's life. You want the child to feel like they have a stake.
Yeah.
They take responsibility for their own behavior. So will the child just obey because, okay, daddy said keep quiet, I keep quiet?
Yes.
Or the child understands that, okay, I need to act in a certain way, in a certain context. So I think it's a lot of dialogue.
I liked the fact that he talked about how the way you punish your child based upon their love language now affects the way they treat you when they are teenagers. He actually talked about how it leads to the regular passive aggression that we see with teenagers and all that. That's what actually causes it. If your child is angry, anger is a normal emotion, just like joy, happiness, sadness, and all that. You should let the child to be angry. It's actually way better when a child is angry and they tell you that they're angry, even if they are yelling about it. It's all part of emotional maturity. When you shut it down, don't talk to me like that. Who do you think you're talking to like that? When you do that, you're making the child, you're putting it inside box
pressure cooker
and screwing it up. The child will become a teenager and be very passive aggressive to you. A lot of anger will just because they see you as a certain kind of person based upon the way you treated them from when they were way younger. That I thought was like a medical, psychological breakthrough. I was like, ooh, so that's what that is. I also liked my favorite part was when he talked about single parenting, love language and single parenting. It's interesting how the world we live in now, single parenting is actually normal, and at the rate it's good, I don't think it's going to go down. Do you understand? By single parenting, divorced parents, widowed or widowed parents, having children outside being married. Do you understand? I think it's ridiculous that in 2020 you write a book about parenting and you're talking about the two parents. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Do you understand? People are dying. Do you understand? Things are happening. So it makes it. I liked that he mentioned. He actually dedicated 2 chapters to how a single parent should try and still manage the children through their own love languages and all that. And one of the major things he puts in, which I think is what worked a lot here in Nigeria, is exposing your children to other relatives. Okay, like if you need to move. Do you understand? Move to where their grandparents stay, move to where aunties are, expose them to places that you're used to, because they will feel the love language from other people. And that's how it's actually an easy way for you to know, because I mean, kids are exhausting. Parents, we know kids are exhausting. Abby, leave your comments below. It's exhausting. You can imagine one person having 3 children and having to do this year in, year out, year in, year out. So it's like, but if you're able to have other people around you, if you have friends that take these kids off you, not necessarily you drop them off, but like they can come and visit, other children can come and they can go and play outside, all those kind of things. If you can have that kind of arrangement and all that, it's easier for you to discover the children's their behaviors, their emotional maturity, how far they've gone, and the things that anger them, why it angers them. It's very easy. It's easier to do that, and I like that. I think, like I said, I think that's what happened a lot here in Nigeria. Our parents may have not studied the love languages, but our being exposed to other family, And I think, to me, the best part is how it breeds emotional maturity in adults. Do you understand? I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship where somebody is upset with you, even if it's your friend, and they don't tell you about it. That's the height of emotional immaturity. They are being passive aggressive. I'm thankful. I'm so thankful that now I'm somebody that if somebody pains me, I say it pains me. For the longest time, one of the major issues we had being married was that I would have issues and I would keep it to myself. That's immaturity at its highest. Maturity is saying, me, I didn't like this one, and you should be comfortable enough to know that if this doesn't work out, you can get up and go. You shouldn't feel like you need somebody else to survive. When your emotional love tank, when your child's emotional love tank has been filled consistently for years until they are 18. When they are 18, from 18, especially for girls, he mentioned the importance of it in girls. At the age of 18, an 18-year-old girl is mature enough to look at this guy and say, this you. Bye. It's not you that will do me like this at 18. It's not, oh, I really love him, I cannot do without him. That is an emotional, empty love tank statement. You understand that I can do without you though. Bye. I love you, but I can do without you. Bye.
I'm not sure he really mentioned this, but
that's
talking about the relationship between, especially a father and a daughter.
Yes.
It goes a long way in improving self-esteem, and that need for love. She knows that she's loved. She's secure. Yes. I mean, my dad loved me, so this boy is telling me he loves me.
Whatever, yeah.
Somebody treat me like that.
That one, I totally agree. Daddy, when your daddy loves you and it shows, I'm telling you, it goes
a long way.
It goes, as how do I put it? It explains how much crap you're willing to take in the name of relationship with man. I agree. I'm telling you. Yeah. So yeah, that's the conclusion. Basically, is that the reading this book will teach you how to raise emotionally mature adults. To me, it's important for your children. Because in the end, that's what you're trying to go for. You're trying to go for whole, purposeful adults and all that, and that's pretty much this thing. So, any closing statements or closing arguments?
No.
Okay, cool. So I don't know if you know anything about the 5 love languages. Please leave your comment below if you do, and then what you think about parenting in Nigeria. Do you even think that's one of the things I kept on wondering, 5 love languages. So you'll be doing all this one inside this especially in this Lagos with all the traffic and all that. Can you do all this one and join? So leave your comment and be like, I really am curious as to what you think. I like to hear what all of you think about this particular thing. So I got it from Scribd. I read it from Scribd. I know it's available at Latana. But honestly, this book was written. Let me see if I can find when it was written. It was written not too, it's not that old. Imagine 1997. Wow, I didn't know it wasn't that old. I thought it was 2000 something. So it was written in 1997. So it's a very old book, really. So it's actually pretty easy to find anywhere you can check and look around. If you don't have any kids now, you can find the original 5 love languages. That book is also something pretty. Thank you so much for watching. Please join the community. There's a new content every Monday and every Friday. We sit and talk about books, trying to get more and more Nigerians to read so that we can make Nigeria a much better place. Please leave your comments below. I've said that before, haven't you? Like the video, and thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.